So welcome back to the Prestige Emblem series. We've made it to number 6, and we're almost to the halfway point of 15, so we're getting there, we're getting closer. For this one I wanted to go back and try another attempt at a weaponry style emblem, and we did the magnums in, what was that, 4? So I figured let's go ahead and try swords as the main element for this one. And I've been doing a lot of research on these real-life emblems and military badges and whatnot, and the sword is kind of one of those elements that really sporadically just ends up in a lot of these emblems. And there's no real rhyme or reason to it. I've seen it in emblems for airborne to things like intelligence branch things of the military. It just kind of appears. So it's a very popular element and shape that winds up in these emblems, and there's a pretty big variety of the style of swords. So everything from more of a Roman type sword, which is much more basic, to a more medieval sword, which would have, a little more ornate on the hilt and the blade and whatnot. So I kind of went for something in between, and ended up with this. So it's more on the simpler side, but we need to throw in some simpler emblems to help offset some of the complicated ones. I remember talking about this in Prestige 2 or 3, as a matter of fact, that 2 was very ornate, and if we have too many of those, then things just get crazy busy. So trying to keep it at an even keel, kind of toned down here and there, and this is one that I would think falls more on the simpler side of things. So I think it'll help balance everything out and round out the set once we get there. So when I did this initial sketch, I had all the swords as perfectly vertical, but later on in this attempt, I realized that giving the 2 outer swords a little bit of an angle seemed to offset things and look pretty good. And it wasn't until hours later that I realized that there's an emblem very similar to this on Modern Warfare 3. It totally didn't even dawn on me until way later, after I designed this thing and rendered the video out and whatnot. I think it's 9th Prestige has a 5 sword, is it? I think there's a skull in there too at some point, but there is something very similar. But this one just is more focused just on the weapons itself, and I like how it turned out. I also used orange and red as the 2 colors to help offset it. And even though the previous emblem had kind of a bronze rust orange feel to that one too, the overall shape of this one is very different than number 5, which was the rhino. So I think it works well as being a Prestige emblem directly after that. I think it would be fine. I don't think you'd be too confused if you saw them close together. You'd know which one was which one was 5 and which one was 6. So that's what I went with here. So I hope you dig it. If you think it gets a like, I would appreciate it. And I have to apologize for these being a little slow this past week. There's too much time in between these emblems, and I intend to speed it up a bit. It's been kind of crazy here at work, and haven't quite found the time to put these together like I would like to. So number 7 is hot on the heels of this one. Keep an eye for that. And if you missed either of the previous 2 emblems, we have Prestige 5 on the right, which you can click on and take a gander at that and see what you think, and Prestige 4 on the left, which was that other weaponry one I was talking about with the magnums, and that was a fun one to do. A lot of fun. Actually, both those were a lot of fun. Actually, 5 was a lot of hair pulling to get that stupid rhino right. But enjoy. Take care, guys. Later.